what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of What's Kachi with Kachi. And I'm your host, Kachi Osuji. Whew, what a week. This week has been extraordinary, like so crazy, so tasking. I've had sleepless nights. Like now it's basically I sleep and I wake up an hour after, I sleep, wake up an hour after, and I'm always doing that every night, or sometimes I just stay up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., sleep back for like 2-3 hours, wake up again and hit the system. It's hard, man. It's really hard. It's really hard. I don't even know how to even explain this, but man, it's hard. It's difficult. But yeah, that is even one of the things. That is actually what we're here to talk about today. And it's not about me. It's not sleeping. Actually, not about me not sleeping. It's the technicalities behind what's Kachi or WKCWKC. Basically, the technicalities behind hosting a podcast. And this podcast session, this episode, I can really talk about this thing for probably hours, but I'm just going to just share with you guys the bits and I'm still even learning. I'm not even there yet. I'm just looking up to a lot of people, a lot of Nigerian podcasters and a lot of international podcasters. These guys have been in the game obviously for years, and I just hope there's a way I can get to meet with them and just have conversations. And yeah, there are even ways. There are podcasting communities, and I think I'm in a couple of them privately and with What's Kachi with Kachi publicly. And yeah, we're just in a couple of them. Sometimes they just listen and learn from them here, and they just find ways to put them into your next session and all that. But yeah, and technicalities. I did not, honestly speaking, in my head, when I said to myself, "Oh yeah, I'm going to start a podcast. I should start talking about that. I should just do this thing. I should stop doing the whole. You know what? I think I should start a podcast. Or what would people think I should do? I just go into it and just start it, and yes, I entered. So in my head, I thought it was just going to be, oh, I get a bunch of microphones. I probably get a laptop, probably get decks or whatever. I'll just use things and just record. You can even use your phone actually. Use your phone, get microphones, use your phone and record. Get a good audio editing application so you can use to walk around your audios and edit them properly so that they can come out crispy, clean and all that. I thought that was it. I honestly thought that was it. But man, I entered and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Is this what is this what I bargained for? I mean, okay, now I don't. We're a couple of episodes in, and to be honest, I've enjoyed this. Personally, I've enjoyed them because of the conversations we always have, and you're just talking for a while. And so most times, what you guys don't even know is that every single time we have a podcast session, every single episode we record and then end it. We do not end immediately. So we obviously say our goodbyes and of course say we got to keep this thing short. We need you guys to listen to us. But after we end that thing, we sit down and we still speak about this thing. We still talk about these things and just try to share. We are young people, young guys, and we are always learning. We are still learning. So we just sit down, sit back, and talk and share talk hours. That's one thing you guys don't know. So when I have to now come and now edit all these things, cut out these things, I'm like, okay. This should be where we should end. This is where we are ended, and we'll just move on from there and all that. Well, guys, I just say things go easy like that. So me during the whole editing process, I thought that it would just be the audio waveforms in. Then you try and cut here. Just look for the places, cut this, cut here, sing them together, and we go to go. And no, it's not that. It's not like that. It's not like that. Now I understand why a lot of podcasters would advise new and upcoming new podcasters to get or to meet with people who would help them edit their audios. Now I understand that because this thing is hard. It is hard. It is freaking hard. So the application I use is Adobe Audition. Sometimes, okay, no, actually, I first started with Audacity, and man, that guy was was confusing as hell. I did not know what to do. I mean, for Audacity, I've already been in the whole audio tweaking environment for about a year and a half now. So I already knew how to move around with edits and waveforms. I was trying to learn how to use Audacity, and it was I won't say it wasn't going smoothly. No, it wasn't going smoothly. It was not going smoothly. I spent a year and a half trying to learn Audacity, and no, it wasn't going smoothly. I was confused at some point. I was like, "What the hell is this? What am I forcing myself to just learn it?" And I abandoned the entire thing. So I heard about Adobe Audition, and I was like, this is not bad though. Let's just see how this one looks like. I jumped into the whole Adobe Audition space, and my goodness, it was so simple. Okay, not simple, but I mean, I'm on Adobe Audition right now, and I see a lot of, what's the word now? What's the word to use? Simplicity. It's just so arranged and organized, and anybody who enters into the audio tweaking space or the editing space, and you have to edit audios, and you get to download or buy Adobe Audition, and you see how, and you just enter, you just open, once you open, launch the application, and you just see all these buttons. You're like, this is easy. And to me, the first day I opened it, I was like, okay, now we're starting from somewhere. So I've never ever rearranged my timeline on Adobe Audition since the first day I got the application. I never tweaked it, I never changed it. Usually what we editors, what we do is we get an application, first day of launching it, use it for a couple of hours, days probably, and we then get accustomed to all the tools and and plugins and presets that are on the editing app. Then we rearrange our timeline so it can ease our workflow, and all that and blah blah blah. But on Adobe Audition, I entered and I'm like, what's there to change? There is nothing to change. It was just too simple. Okay, carry on. And I carried on, and I started editing, and then I hit my first roadblock. I plugged this thing in, and I placed in my audios, and I was confused. I did not understand what was happening. I was like, what is going on here? Why are there so many? Why are the lines not sinking? And okay, so for me, who I've been in a lot of spaces for a while now. And in fact, I'm in a lot of spaces currently. So I first started out as a graphic designer. Yeah, a graphic designer. So to speak, I started out as a graphic designer, and I'm really good at it. I moved from graphic designing to trying to learn copywriting. I think I got a hang of what copywriting was, but I was like, Then I entered into photography. And photography, I think that's where I fell madly in love, because photography has always been a thing for me. I never just thought of photography to be like a serious, but that's that. Did photography, then photo editing was quite easy for me because I'm a graphic designer. It's simple. No colors, you know your colors, you know what you want, you know what to remove, you know how you know your angles. So yeah, it was quite simple for me. Then from photography, photo editing to I then moved to the world of video editing, and I was like, wow, this is where content created is. Man, I am full in video editing. I love the whole concept. I love my hand. I love putting my hands on deck and just playing with tabs and just creating things and writing stuff on videos and bringing my imaginations to life. I love doing that. I love doing that. Like that is me. So I entered that, and I think I've been a video editor for over a year actually. Then now I'm now in the audio editing space, and I'm like, okay, okay, new terrain. Well, who do? I don't have a full grasp on what on the things Adobe Audition is capable of doing to your audios, but I know a bit of things. I know a couple of things. I got into it, and I had to take like a crash course of Adobe Audition in in a couple of minutes. So I think I took a crash course, a 5-10 minutes course. I learned that, finished that, and okay, moved on. And I had to now I started learning on the go. So I put my stuff in, mixed together, blah 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 blah. And I was going. So now in 1 week, I can say I've learned 40 to 50% of what Adobe Audition is capable of doing. And to be honest, if you ask me, I will tell any designer, any editor, that is all you really need to learn on any application you're going to be working in any space. Now I'm in the audio editing space, and okay, good, cool. I'm doing that. It's going good, it's going great. Now so I can't say okay, because since I'm already a video editor, there is no point of me editing audio and just posting my podcast on podcasting platforms. Let me do like a bit of visuals for people who like to see things, see and hear things. But yeah, that one too. Most people would want to see interactions, and trust me, we're coming with visual clips, like actual visual clips, where we sit down in the studio and talk for hours, and you see our faces and see our facial reactions, and you feel the heat from us. Because man, I know there's a lot of heat. You will feel that. I know we're getting to that point soon. I got into this place and thinking in my head that, oh, my laptop can probably handle all this, and yeah, we'll go there. I have the laptop I use currently is a HP EliteBook 1030G3, I think. I can't remember. It's an Intel Core i7 7th gen, 26 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM. So it's got a nice space, nice chip. The GPU, if you don't have a GPU, a dedicated graphics card, it's going to be really difficult to edit a couple of visual graphic images. And I said, okay, don't worry, we can work around that. And so we do that. I try working around that, so that it's slower, but yeah, I know what I want, so I get to the end and blah blah blah, move. It makes work slow, yes, but I can still do it. I've worked with slow laptops for a very long time, so hitting the laptop that is as fast as mine, then not making it slow, please. We walk around that. We go reach the end. Hey, now so me they talk. Oh. So I have a lot of files on my laptop. Not in fact, mostly it's not the files that is keeping things on my laptop. It's the application. So I have a lot of applications on my laptop. I run a lot of heavy applications. On just this laptop, I have Photoshop, from regular Light and Lightroom Classic. I have Premiere Pro, I have After Effects, and I have Audition. All in 2022 editions. I have your normal Microsoft Word because I like to type and all that. And I keep a lot of files. So I think the biggest Photoshop file I have is about 2 gig, and I still have like a lot of others that are 1 gig, or 500 MB. But I think the biggest is like 2 gig, and that 2 gig, I've not deleted that because one, I like to keep my files. Two, there are still some things I have in there that I've not totally finished editing. That's that. So there are a lot of files I just have on my system, plus the applications that still need those files. So I can't just easily delete them. So right now on my system, I think the space I have left is about 93 gigs. Yes, about 93 to 95 gigs. Yes. So I started editing. One of the previous episodes we uploaded, the maintaining relationships episode. For the visual, I had it done in matter of hours, because please, I've done it already, so it's not going to be difficult for me to just get the templates, blah blah blah, push, drag and drop, mix it together, try and make it, just edit in the timeline, make it sync together, and start rendering and exporting. So I can't enter this space. So I can't realize. See, for the first time in my life, I never knew how important. I'm saying this, and I'm actually now ashamed of myself. But see, well, like I said before, we learn every day. I never knew how important rendering a video is until I got to this point of my life. I've never been so angry and annoyed and tired before. At some point, I was going to wake up. Like I woke up in the morning, one of the mornings, and I saw this thing rendering. This thing wasn't even close to 50%, and I almost screamed. Like it was like 2 a.m. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Can you not move? What is doing you? I was pissed. So pissed. I was so pissed. And the thing about rendering is, especially with Premiere Pro After Effects, when you're rendering files, Premiere Pro saves your rendered files in a particular folder. Your saved folder. Of course, there's a name they give that thing. It's a folder for your for the imported files you added to your sequence. So I was editing that, and I started noticing that my space was getting filled up quickly. So I thought it was like catch files, because I know about catch files, and you have to be cleaning up your catch files and blah 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 blah. Oh, this is taking so much space, like so quickly. What's going on? I tried it, but I kept on rendering. I rendered completely. After rendering completely, I now had to start trying to find the right setting for it to upload on YouTube, and blah 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 blah. And I got into that. And believe you me, I was angry after I started exporting. I tried exporting with Premiere Pro. Okay, so this is what happened. First time I tried exporting without rendering. Before I had to learn about learn about the importance of rendering. I tried exporting in Premiere Pro, and Premiere Pro first showed me, I think about 8 hours, almost 9 hours to export completely the file. And I'm like, bruh, you serious? Are you serious right now? What's going on? You just 1 hour. I'm not making a movie. Calm down. What's this? And I'm like, what is going on? Okay. And I said, okay, no wala. I moved it to Adobe Media Encoder, because Media Encoder can be a bit faster than Premiere Pro. The way I've used it and I've seen it to be, can be a bit faster. Now, I'm not so sure if it's 25 times faster or 2 times. Okay, I can say 2 times faster, but I can't say there's a huge number. But I know it's faster. I used Adobe Media Encoder, and nothing. This guy was not going anywhere. This guy was still showing the same. I didn't know, like 10 hours or something. I was like, oh, so you probably was still calculating. What is going on? Okay, no, I cancel. and I had to sit down and I learned about rendering, and I started rendering. So rendering video took me, let's count this hours. I started rendering from 7 a.m. and there was a break because I found out that my laptop wasn't plugged in, so it wasn't plugged in completely. So at first I thought it was charging, because when I plugged in, I was like, okay, and I moved, but it wasn't plugged in completely. And this was, I think I used the laptop till it died the day before, so I didn't just pay attention to it again. That is how another laptop was not charging. And I say, wala wala wala, and this thing had died, and it had gone off, so I had to now go plug it in again and start rendering again. So by the time I started rendering again, no, I turned it on and it continued rendering. So something happened, an error occurred, and it had to stop rendering. I had to now start rendering again. So by the time I noticed this happened, this was 11 a.m. and I think my laptop had died an hour, almost 2 hours, almost an hour, I think over an hour, almost 2 hours before that, before I noticed. Okay, don't worry, make we continue. Can't continue the render process, so I can't the render. It's trying to export. I clicked on the export button after selecting my settings, and this guy showed me legitimately 4 hours. So there's a button where you click on use previews. I use proxies. I don't use proxies. I just use previews. And previews is your rendered previews. I use previews, and this guy still showed me 4 hours. I know. It's not me and you. So you're like 4 hours. I closed the thing and I closed the laptop and I had to sit down and I went back on that researching and looking for how I can make that rendering process faster. So I found out that on not Premiere but on, okay, yeah, um I found out that there was another way I could really reduce the speeds with my sequence settings and when I'm exporting. So I did that. I tried those settings and yeah, it worked. But I didn't even bother to even try using Premiere. So by this time, this was around 10 p.m. I was really tired. I couldn't even look at the system again. I just went back by 10 p.m. and I started the whole settings thing. And I started exporting with media encoder. I used media encoder to export, and okay, so it was showing, I think media encoder showed a total of 6 hours. I looked at the time, 10 p.m., and I started encoding. I started encoding. I was encoding and exporting, and this guy was going. I was still awake. I was checking online, trying to set up the next day's podcast schedules and all that. And yeah, this is basically Thursday for Friday. I released Maintaining Relationships, and I just had to do that so that you guys can get a good visual to look at and blah 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 blah. I was awake till about 2 a.m. watching this thing, and this girl was going good. I was already tired because I had like a long day, and I didn't even want to now stay up and now try and make this thing finish right now, upload and all that. Because I know that if I stayed up, I would crash by 8. And from the 5 till 3 p.m. or something, because I was just too tired. I was so tired. So what I did was I slept. I left everything open. I slept. I kept on waking up in between hours. So by the time I woke up by 4 a.m., no, by 5 a.m., which was supposed to be when it was to end, I found out that I think that thing had increased by 50 on hour. I don't know why it increased. I don't know what happened. But I just looked at why did it increase? I first thought, maybe because of they took the light, so system performance dropped because I have the settings. My system performance should drop, blah 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 blah. So I had that settings on, and I think that's what happened. That's why the thing reduced in time. I mean, increased in time and all that. But yeah, it kept on encoding. So I looked at that. I went back to bed. So I woke up by 6:20. So that this thing was almost done encoding, and I just stayed up. Okay, no, it was done encoding, so I just moved straight to YouTube and I scheduled, and that was it. This video has kept me up for days. At some point, I was like, I made a post on my WhatsApp story, and I said, post production has made me a mad person now. I don't dey solve how to dey calculate frame rate and what's the other one again? And bit rate like the YDX. Like, what the hell is going on? Because like I was just calculating these things and dividing that minus. I was like, what's going on? What is wrong with this? It is supposed to be this hard. It's supposed to be this hard. And with a better system, obviously. Right now, where I am in the whole laptop space and what kind of brand do you like? I do not like MacBooks. I'm not a fan of the MacBook, but I like the Mac. I like the Mac because well, that guy is a beast. That guy is you see that Mac that I think the Mac's worth is total to about 30 to $50,000. I can't remember the exact figure, but I know the Mac is like okay, not the because that's the way. What am I saying? Yes, it's around that range. What is it? I can't remember anymore. I think dollar to naira exchange I just scattered my head, so I don't even know what it was. Because I can't remember. I think I remember how much I calculated it to be in naira at the time when it came up, but now it's like I don't even know what it is anymore. But I'm so sure the Mac is over $10 because man, that thing is a beast. That thing has over 100 and whatever gigs of RAM. My goodness, it has SSDs up to 8 terabytes. I think 4 terabytes. Then it's upgradable to 8 to 12. I don't know. It's like a large amount of RAM. I'll look that up and probably drop it somewhere on Twitter. It's a beast. God, anybody who is in the editing world right now would want to have their hands on that computer and just put it and say, see, I can put that in my house and make it look like an antique and not even use it because my goodness, that thing is just a beast. I love it. I love it so much. And I've always wanted that kind of computer, but of course, you don't get that kind of money to become a good spend. Yeah, who get that kind of money? Who go dash me $10,000? I mean, people do. When I listen to this guy, if you listen to this podcast right now, and you probably have over $10,000 to to just give away and see, hit your boy up. I would just hit me on the DM, say drop your account number. I have a domiciliary account. I will drop it down. Send me this money. Send it to me. Send it to me. But yeah, I never liked the MacBook Pros, the MacBooks, but I always liked the Mac. But right now, where I am, I think the Macs are looking like a good bargain because my goodness, not the regular Macs, of course. No, I mean talking about the new ones, the new beautiful machines that have the M1 Ultra chip inside. I'll probably do a podcast talking about how beautiful that M1 Ultra chip is and what it can do. I'll probably do a podcast about that because I've sat down and I have researched about that chip. And if I have this kind of power inside my laptop right now, I don't even care about the space 256. You know this video I'm talking about that I took it, put this chip inside this laptop. I promise you, I'll start encoding by, let's say, with the same exact settings. I'll start encoding by 8 a.m. I would finish encoding tops 9 a.m. because that guy is fast. That guy is too fast. That guy is too good. Man, I love that chip. I love that chip hands down. But yeah, my guys, it's not been easy. It's really difficult. The technicalities and running a podcast and hosting your own podcast. No easy. It's See, the easiest part of hosting a podcast is standing up and just creating conversations, topics, and looking for just here and there and trends here and there. It's too easy. That's the easiest part. Social media has made that particular angle of the job too easy. It's too easy now. But standing up to start editing the audio is not hard as well. But if you're a person who is into visuals, man, that's difficult. I don't even know what to do. Of course, I can't smash my laptop because man, I spent a lot of money to buy this laptop, so I can't smash the laptop. Well, yeah. So then, like, should I just start crying? Maybe I just start crying. But that's it, guys. That's it. Technicalities of hosting your own podcast. It's not easy. Difficult. I didn't even talk about the parts where you'd have to now look for um, what the distribution service, the one that fits you. If you want it to be, you want it to be monetized, the one that fits your budget, because obviously you have to pay for that. One that fits your budget, and the whole engagement part where you have to be doing ads, and you have to now learn how to not do a lot of ads in your podcast, and how to now make it a bit short and not too lengthy, and all that thing. It's crazy, it's really, really crazy doing all that thing. And I also get the point where people say, oh, um I also get the point where people say things like, oh, a 1 hour podcast. Why should I listen to a 1 hour podcast? But I promise you, it's quite easy. I've been I think I still have something like that in one of my bios. I don't know which one, probably Instagram or Twitter, where I wrote music lover. And honestly speaking, I'm a music lover. I okay, I was a music lover. And probably still am, but not anymore, not as much. Was a music lover. So I could plug in earpieces or headphones or earbuds and just listen to music. Majority of human beings in this world right now, they do that a lot. But people have just failed to understand that podcasts are as important as music, so to speak. Especially right now when the entire world is just on, I don't know, the entire world is at the grasp of your hand, and you're just learning things and blah blah blah, and experiencing things, and now people don't even speak to other people anymore. So podcasts for me have just been so helpful, and I know it can be helpful to a lot of people in terms of your mental health. They keep you in check, so somehow you get people who just say things and share experiences, and they share the mistakes they made, and all that, and you just learn from that. You learn from that, and carry on. You move on, and that's how I do my own. That is what's catchy with catchy is supposed to be. We come here and we share experiences and our thoughts on topics and what we think you should do and all that, blah blah blah, blah. But well, anyhow. Don't worry, we'll talk about all this later. Probably we'll talk about that in another episode, and where I'm just the only one again. Because you see, today I think I enjoyed this one more than, I don't even know, more than just having conversations with 200 people. No, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. But I enjoy this, just being myself and talking, because this is how I am actually. Just sit down in the house and talk, and of course that is what made me want to do podcast. Podcasts have made me they have made me become that person who just talks to himself a lot. I was always that person growing up, but it was more recessive. So it's like sometimes you see me talk, but not like I won't talk that loud. But now it's like I can be walking on the road. I promise I ain't listen to anything, but my mind's running wild, and I just spit that rubbish. No rubbish, sorry. I'm just spitting out things. I'm just talking and talking and talking and talking for hours and hours and hours. And people are looking at like this guy is mad, but I'm not mad. I just have a wild imagination, colorful wild imagination. It's just going, and I need to let them express it and just let people know what this, how I feel. Well, anyhow, guys, we've come to the end of this beautiful episode. Please, guys, as usual, hit us up on our socials at WKCWKC underscore. And don't forget to follow, like, share to your people. Let them see, let them know what we're doing, let them know what we're doing here. Yeah. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, guys. Love you.